What is going on, my Cardano friends? It's your friend Jack here. What is going on? And today we're watching the monthly recap together. So if you want to hop in, if you want to have some fun, then you're in the right place. We're going to be watching the Cardano 360 event as one. Welcome to the stream, and it's going to be a pretty chill one. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat, but I don't think it's going to be a long Cardano 360 this month, as they're saving most of the juicy content for their, for their official summit coming in September. That's probably where all the good stuff is going to be, unfortunately. Gotta tweet out the watch party real quick, and then we will get right back to the chat. Show your hair. Bad hair day. Yeah, bad hair day. Surprise us. Hey Jack, thanks for the watch party. Kaizen, what's going on, my friends? No problem. Glad to see you here, my friend. Glad to see you here. Honestly, the watch parties are more or less just me sitting here and moving my camera. Usually moving my camera away from the actual content. That's usually what these watch parties are. At least the last one. Maybe I'll take off my camera this time. I'm not sure. If show hair, we'll send 1,000 ADA. There's hair. Alright. The tip wallet is down below for the 1,000 ADA, by the way. Hey Jack, are you tempted to sell just a tiny bit of ADA on the 12th or 13th, then rebuy at a later date? El Toro, no. I'm not. I don't bother selling, really. It's not a bad idea to sell when it's high and to pick back up when it's low. It's a great way to accumulate more ADA, but I just don't do that personally because I don't want to deal with the taxes, and I'm just a simple guy. Buy and hold. That's the easiest way in my mind to just do cryptocurrencies, just to find things you want to hold for 5 or 10 years, and then you're good to go. You don't need to touch it. When Charles burning some ADA, I don't think Charles is going to be burning some ADA. I did see his proof of burn contest video, but we'll see. We'll see. Also, guys, if you didn't know, Jackpool got a big delegation last night, and all of our delegators put together, small and big, we're at 169 or 1.69 million delegation, which is pretty crazy. So, thank you to anyone delegating in the chat. That's worth almost like 3K ADA. Same. I buy and hold. Buy and hold, buy and hold, buy and hold. Hey, Jack. Please, what's your 2025 millionaire Cardano plan like? What price predictions? By 2025, I truly believe that Cardano could easily be $1 trillion asset, so $32 plus. That's all I'll say. I think it's inevitable if Cardano keeps delivering, and especially World Mobile Token and bringing telecoms to places like Africa and other underdeveloped areas. We're going to see a lot more wealth tapped into as well, and being built to come back into the ecosystem. So there's so many ways that I think Cardano could reach $1 trillion market cap, and I think that $1 trillion market cap could happen in the next 5 years personally. What's up, ADA community? Yeah, what's up, guys? If you guys have not smashed your like button on the way in, please consider doing so. But yeah, we're just waiting for the Cardano 360 event to start here in 6 minutes. Then we're going to be watching it together, and everything's better together, right? Everything's better together. Unless I were to, make it hard to watch the party. But this watch party, maybe I'll even turn off my face cam. What do you guys think? Turn off the face cam when we begin the 360, or would you rather me move it around like this? Well, to avoid the content. It might be a bit distracting if I'm moving it around. But I'm going to try to summarize at the end of the live stream all the good stuff. So don't worry. If I can retain all the good stuff, that is, well, trying to read the chat and stuff. Do you think ADA could get to $1,000 in 10 years? Mr. Turner, you know, that's a really crazy number. And I think we should start at $100 because that's even crazy. But 1,000, I haven't even bothered to calculate the market cap on that, but I imagine it would be, yeah, that would be like 32, 1,000 divided by 32. And then that many trillion of a market cap. So let's go do it right now while we're waiting. So that'd be a $31 trillion market cap. You know, it could happen. Honestly, we're in crypto land. We're going to see new things come out. Things are getting crazy. $32 trillion market cap is wild. So that's what we'd have to see for $1,000 ADA in 10 years. But there is a billion user plan, and a billion users, network with a billion users, at least that's what the Cardano Foundation is aiming for, is probably worth more than $10 trillion. A billion users is no joke to be on a financial operating system and to be involved in a single network. So the value of that network, aka the value of ADA, would probably be, would probably be a really high price. Honestly, I would not baffle at, a couple $1 trillion in value for a billion users. 100 ADA by 2025? No way. You never know, man. You never know. By 2025, I'm thinking $32, $40, but no one here really knows. We don't have magic balls, and I'm here for the ride either way. Buy, hold, and get to know more people in the community, like you guys watching this video right here, or this stream right here. 45 ADA per user. Yeah, it's not even that crazy, really. Hey Jack, how's it going, man? I love the vids. It's going pretty good, my friend. 3 minutes in 3 minutes here, we're gonna be watching the Cardano 360 event together, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Do you think we will see the projects grow now that Japan is on board? Yeah, I think Japan being on board is wonderful for the long term of Cardano, and I think it's gonna ultimately promote more growth in this space with them on board. I think it's great. I think it's great. Marcelio from Singularity DAO will be part of this Cardano 360. Ooh, I did not know that, and that makes me even more excited. Thank you, man. Thank you. And man, yes, thank you, man. Come on, ADA to 220. Want to buy 1,000. I believe ADA will be going to 220. Personally, I think we're going to see quite the crash here. That's just my opinion. I think we're going to see Bitcoin go below 40K again, and then we're going to resume the macro bull trend. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm just a guy in my mom's basement, and I don't know anything. So take it with a grain of salt, please. Please. All right, 2 more minutes, and then we're getting into this. What about the unbanked money? What happens when the rest of the world gets access to the fast internet and then to Cardano? Yeah, it's a good question, man. The unbanked money, when they have access to Cardano and, stable coins, algorithmic stable coins and things like that, there's going to be a lot more users in the system for sure. And a lot more wealth in the system that wasn't there or wasn't even tracked before. So you're right. I think that will ultimately also boost the price. And I don't even know where we could go in terms of price at that point. I don't think anyone really knows how much unbanked wealth there is. There's an estimate, but even the estimates, they could be so far off. I mean, an estimate's still a good thing to have, but it could be so far off. All right, 60 seconds, and we're premiering. So let's go to the end of this video. We'll watch the trailer.
Join us on the last Thursday of this month for your August edition of Cardano 360. With the summit coming in September, it'll be a shorter show than usual, but we'll bring you the latest on the Alonzo smart contracts rollout, news from Project Catalyst and the community, partner updates, and more. So make sure you join us Thursday, August the 26th.
Let's turn this music off. Don't need double trouble. And I believe it's going to begin shortly. Alright guys, who's hype? Who's ready to rumble in the watch party? Oh. Who's ready to rumble? Don't worry, don't worry. We're gonna full screen it when it comes live here. Let's refresh this, double check. Ooh. A lot of people from Ethereum are converting to ADA, but I hodl both. Yeah, I mean, Ethereum I don't think is going anywhere either. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, guys. Sorry, I kind of cut off that Ethereum and ADA rant, but yeah, I think they're both going to do very well. But yes, thanks for the fire emojis in the chat. Let's get ready to rumble. Kaizen, let's get ready to rumble. ADA gang forever, ready to rumble. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Let's full screen this. Let's take my stupid head out of here. Make it smaller. No crumble? I thought this was counting down from 3, 2, 1, but it's not. It's counting down from a different number of 2 minutes. It's kind of loud though, eh? Hello here from Taiwanese ADA friend. Hope I said your location right. And welcome, my friend. Welcome to the stream. We got 50 seconds on the clock till the 360 event happens, and I'm gonna be staying quiet down here. I'm not gonna try to interrupt them because it's a pretty fast-paced show, and I believe it's gonna be a short show. But after the show, we're gonna be talking about what happened and what's going on. That's the plan. But I'm gonna try to shut up for most of the show so we can watch together. Although, to be honest, guys, if we ever watch a movie together, I talk during movies a little bit. Here at the right times. But this will be different. 10, 9. All right, let me shut up now.
Hello and welcome to Cardano 360, your August edition, shorter than usual, but as ever, packed with information. Now, before we start, remember to subscribe and hit that bell and like, and get to see our videos as soon as they come out. Now let's dive straight into Alonzo and the road to smart contracts on Cardano. I caught up with the team to find out the latest. So Kevin, Nigel, Demetrius and Mel, thank you very much for joining us. Nigel, another very busy couple of weeks.
Tremendously, Tim. Team has worked incredibly hard. We've pushed it as well on the weekends too, and we've made loads of progress. I think it's probably a good idea if we just do a recap across all of the work and across all the components. And so for doing that, I'll just introduce Dimitri, and he'll take you through all the different technical detail that we've achieved in the last couple of weeks.
Thank you, Nigel. Indeed, it's been very busy, and some of the key things that we managed to accomplish over the last couple of weeks include the new version of the wallet backend, which is now integrated with the latest node version, which is our release candidate for the testnet. The DB-Sync is also updated to fix some issues related to the chain snapshot, as well as some reward calculation issues we've observed before. We've managed to respin the Purple network with the mainnet candidate node version to bring the Purple network up to speed with the mainnet candidate and the potential candidate for the testnet also from the node side. And also there were updates completed on the Explorer, GraphQL and Rosetta components that will allow for the integration of exchanges with the latest components on our Purple environment. And apart from that, We also did the integration with the latest wallet backend from the Daedalus side. This is being finalized as we speak, and this is to make sure that the Daedalus wallet will survive the Alonso hard fork. And last but not least, we are also now planning the QA and integration activities for the updated metadata registry, the Alonso version that is going to be used for smart contracts.
And at the heart of this incredible array of components, Kevin, the node, how's it all going there?
Hi, Tim. So it's all looking good on the node. Thank you. So we've been working through various issues we've discovered on the Alonso Purple testnet, and the users there have been absolutely great in helping us to identify and to fix various issues. So a shout out to Martin from ADA, to David from Onyx, and everyone else who's been working on that with us. And in addition to the feedback we've been getting on the testnet, our QA team, developer team and benchmarking team have all been running various tests, various final checks on the node. All the tests are passing, and we're confident that the node is going to be solid as we go towards the mainnet release. So we've tagged a couple of release candidates in the last couple of days, and we're just expecting to make a few final tweaks now before we go to the final mainnet version of the node.
So we've got the components, we've got the node. Based on this, Nigel, how are we looking for that projected date of the 1st of September to hard fork the testnet?
We're on track, Tim. We worked incredibly hard, including the weekends, to be able to protect that timeline. Even though we've had bumps along the road, we've had different issues to resolve. We remain on track to be able to submit our update proposal this Sunday and to get us onto the Cardano testnet for the 1st of September. Now, this is not without risk, obviously. Anything between now and then, we could hit a severe unexpected issue, which might push it out. But with all known things that we know right now, we remain on track.
That's great news, Nigel. So, Demetrius, when we get to that date, hopefully the 1st of September, what's the next stage of that process once the new node and the new components are all integrated with the Cardano testnet?
Obviously, further tests as we aim to ensure on the testnet that everything is good to go on mainnet. So in essence, the testnet is the final dress rehearsal, and it all has to fit perfectly and keep working for an expected period of time before it is applied to our main chain. So in a nutshell, the test phase allows for wiggle room to identify and fix any issues before submitting the mainnet update proposal, and at the same time secure a sufficient window of time to monitor the network and all the related components and confirm that they're stable and fit for promoting the main chain. Now, the process that happens is divided into when it comes to tracking any issues. First of all, we're having issues reported by our SPOs, our exchanges that are trying to integrate with the testnet and test their configuration, and also the entire community, including partners, etc. So we're listening in for any issues, and we evaluate the severity and the criticality of those issues and understand if there's something that needs to be fixed before we go on to mainnet. And at the same time, our internal teams, obviously, and especially the DevOps team, are looking for anything that is alarming and should be considered as something to resolve before proceeding on the mainnet. So since the beginning of the Purple environment, exchanges this time have been involved, and they have been testing their implementations against our latest versions of components. Since on the Purple environment it's not the most stable one, we're still doing some updates and releasing new versions. The final integration testing ground for exchanges prior to submitting the mainnet update proposal will be the Cardano testnet, which is a more stable environment, and all the final versions of the components are there, so they will know exactly what to expect and to test against before we complete the hard fork on mainnet.
So this is a good time actually to bring Mel in now. Mel, you're leading the team at the Cardano Foundation who are responsible for the exchange integrations. Big piece of work and pretty complex, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. So at the moment we're tracking over 140 exchanges. We have possibly over 100 third parties that we also interact with.
140.
Like if you compare that to before Shelley, we were tracking about 20 exchanges. So the load on the team has gone up quite a lot in the last year. The complexity really comes from all the different components. We have a lot of different components that we offer to exchanges, and not every exchange business is the same. So we try and understand what they need and provide them the best guidance we can. And we do this via direct channels with the majority of exchanges.
So why are these relationships so important, Mel?
They're so important because they give us an opportunity to learn from our partners, learn from exchanges. And the more we learn about their business, and the better we can provide the right tooling to help exchanges, to help other third parties, and ensure that they get the best experience with Cardano.
Now, you and your team were also responsible for Mary, Allegra, and of course Shelley, but this is the biggest of them all yet.
This certainly is a very significant hard fork. This is my fourth, which is exciting, and you know, we provide regular updates to our partners. We provide regular updates to exchanges. We give them advice on the best procedures for them. We support them with technical issues if they have any technical issues when they're upgrading their components, and we encourage them to upgrade in advance so we can minimize the downtime that is just necessary when you're doing an upgrade like this for a hard fork.
Now, Mel, obviously the goal is to have as many exchanges as possible ready for the hard fork, but what happens if they aren't all ready? Should people be concerned about that?
No, there's no need to be concerned at all. I mean, your funds are safe. They're safe on the exchange. They're safe in the wallets. The only thing is that deposits and withdrawals will be offline, and it's only a matter of time before we work with the exchange and we get everything back online, and we'll help them. And we've done that for every hard fork. There's, you know, it looks pretty smooth on the outside, but you know, sometimes it's not as smooth as it looks.
So Mel, if ADA holders are keeping their ADA on an exchange, and of course, folks, we do recommend that you stake to a community pool, what should people do if they want to check how progress is going?
TSD team in IOG have a page on their Zendesk system, and we provide regular updates there every few days on the status of exchanges and their upgrade. But the best place to go would be to your exchange and check their maintenance notifications, and they'll notify you of any downtime and when the upgrade is complete.
So thank you very much, Mel, for that. Now, Kevin, back to you. Alongside the work you've been doing on the node, you've also been doing a lot of work on modelling of costs. Perhaps you can share a bit more about that.
Yes, so we've got a whole team of people working on this behind the scenes, Tim. So we've been calibrating some interesting real-world use cases against testnets and other blockchains, including things like swaps, stable coins, etc., and getting some numbers out that we can use to calibrate our price estimators. And I have to say, it's been quite hard work because our competitors are not making it easy. Every time I try to look up the price of a contract on some of our competitors, the price of gas seems to have changed. So trying to get consistent numbers out of these blockchains is quite hard. And of course, with Cardano, one of the great advantages we have is that the costs are deterministic. The numbers we get out are not going to suddenly change from hour to hour, day by day. There'll be plenty of warning about price changes. So look forward to that as a major benefit from Cardano. We're still iterating on the price calculations. Realistically, this is going to be a process that's going to continue for a while as we roll out the network. We're going to need to tune the pricing perhaps as we see the real world use cases develop, and of course as we see the Plutus interpreter incorporating more optimizations, etc. So it's going to take a little while for things to bed down, but we're in a good position in terms of knowing where our prices will come out. I think one of the biggest secrets in the company at the moment is exactly what those numbers are. In fact, I don't think Nigel even knows yet. So Nigel, listen carefully. It's going to be significantly less than some of our other major competitors. So I hope that's a relief to you.
That's good to know, Kevin.
No problem, Nigel. We like to keep you informed. So we've been incorporating these numbers into an internal price estimator. Currently, this is just a spreadsheet that we're using internally within the company to do a bit of calibration, a bit of checking, see where the numbers come out. And we're planning, Tim, to release a web version so that DApp developers can start to check against their own scripts and DApps without actually having to produce the script, the final scripts themselves, so they can get some idea, some indication about the likely pricing. So look forward to seeing that soon.
So Nigel, sounds like we're in a reasonably good place right now. Final push, a few weeks to go.
This has been a long journey to get here. There's been a tremendous amount of hard work to get us to this point, but now we've only got a few weeks to go before we push the button and we deliver smart contract capability onto Cardano. It's worth noting that this is just the beginning though. It's the start of our smart contract journey. Once we actually get this smart contract capability out, there'll be lots of work to do from there with our developers and partners and community all building different capabilities and different dApps onto the network. There's still lots of development work on our side to do as well. And one of the main elements that we've got to produce is our Plutus application backend, which we've talked about in many other 360s, and that'll be coming out in September. When we've got that component, then our partners really can go for it and gun it to make sure that their dApps are fully integrated to the Plutus application backend and then into the full Cardano network. I would say overall, we're looking very good. And it's just all guns blazing to get us to cross the finish line. It's worth just mentioning that there's a large team on this. There's 100+ different resources, engineers, analysts, even your own marketing team. We're all pulling together to get this across the line, and also we're very grateful to the hundreds of people that have contributed to our testing and all our interim test networks, from our pioneers to partners to SPOs. All of us together as a community are building this up to be a big success.
Well, thank you very much. And also to Kevin, Dimitris and Mel. We'll see you again soon. Project Catalyst is the largest decentralized innovation fund in the world, and it continues to grow from strength to strength. Millions of dollars already invested in powering Cardano development and ecosystem growth, millions more incoming from a Cardano treasury now worth well north of $1 billion. That's quite a war chest for building on Cardano. Let's go over to Eric and Dor for a catch-up.
$1 billion treasury.
Today we're welcoming back Dor Garbosh, the man who is leading the way to on-chain governance with Project Catalyst. Welcome back to 360.
Hello, hello.
So, what has happened in Project Catalyst since last we talked?
Well, actually not much. Just kidding. We're continuing our mad dash towards continuing our exponential rate of growth. We basically wrapped up Fund 5, and not only that, we celebrated 1 year for Catalyst, where it was a $2 million fund. We funded 70 new projects in Cardano, and overall, in the past 5 funds, we've allocated almost $4 million to projects on Catalyst. 160 projects total funded. 600,000 unique votes have been casted so far in all the different funds, and 33,000 unique wallets have casted them. And now we're moving. So after this wrap up and seeing how well things are going, we just launched a few weeks ago Fund 6, that actually controlling $4 million. Okay, so if you can imagine that, this fund, we're going to distribute more funds than we did in the entire last year.
So, what are some themes that are emerging now after a year of Project Catalyst?
Well, I think the biggest news is the continued decentralization of Catalyst. Okay, like in the first funds, in the first year, a large percentage of the challenges on the platform, basically this call for proposals, like the definition of our goals, of the priorities, of what actually we want to build, was mostly defined by the input-output team and was kind of laid down top-down. But since then, we've seen just tremendous success of challenges that were actually set by the community and voted in by the community in such a way that the community is going to determine almost all of the challenges for Fund 7. So that would be a whopping $5.4 million worth of incentives that are just going to be defined by the community and voted by the community. So this is going to be, so basically, it's not just that we're going to distribute $4 million, but we're also going to decide how we're going to work in Fund 7. So this is just like next level decentralized governance.
Yeah, and for Fund 6, we've got, 10 new challenges that were community generated. Do you have a favorite in the bunch?
Yeah. I mean, there's two ones that I really think are really important. I think the first one is just the largest one. We have like over $1 million just for a developer ecosystem. I think we can have a massive competitive advantage if we heavily invest in our developer ecosystem and make sure that it's very easy to onboard and build applications on top of Cardano, and it's really attractive platform for developers. So that's kind of like, in terms of impact, that's my favorite. I think in terms of intrigue and interest, there's been a community challenge for $250,000 to support decentralized identity solutions. And I think it's really intriguing because this spans between governance and economical autonomy, liberation, opportunity, and also is really heavily focused on Africa and use cases in Africa. So it's kind of like, this challenge kind of has it all. And it's going to receive a lot of support from the Atala Prism team. It would be really supportive of the projects funded there. So I'm really curious to see how that one pans out.
All right, Dor, so how do people get involved with Project Catalyst, Fund 6, and beyond?
Well, right now, watching today, submissions for Fund 6 were just closed. And now starts the great innovation phase. Okay, it's like this is the time where you, as an involved community member, you can go to IDScale. You can look at all the proposals that are being proposed for Fund 6, and this is the opportunity to give some feedback to these teams. Okay, this is just the proposal they submitted is just a draft, and these teams are gonna listen to your comments and listen to your insights and refine and modify their proposal towards finalizing it to be voted on. So if you want to have basically a lot of influence over the future of the network, it will be really recommended for you to go there and speak up, make a comment, choose a proposal, make a comment about it, share your insights. What do you think is good about it? How do you think it could get better? Just remember to be positive and constructive in your feedback.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Dor. We'll talk to you next month about Project Catalyst.
Awesome. Thank you.
Dor will be one of our keynote speakers at the Cardano Summit in September, reflecting on the growth of Project Catalyst and sharing his vision for the future of blockchain governance. So don't miss that. Okay, let's stay with community and head now over to Ben, Lena and Matt from the IO community team for some updates on how they're helping build out the ecosystem.
So I'm really excited to give you an update. This month, the community is rapidly evolving along with the ecosystem, like a Cambrian explosion. What we've tried to do is simplify the main streams of work or focus. So the way that we think about community at the moment is build, create, and educate. So those are the three broad categories. Lena's working a lot with the creative community. She'll give an update. Matthew, as he said, is working with the educate stream, and I've been immersed in the building, which is developers and stake pool operators who are securing the network. So I'm going to start off zooming out. The way that we would report to our leadership is by giving a universal metric that can help you compare all of these disparate communities, and that's called a Net Promoter Score. The way that we report is 1 to 6 is negative, 6 to 8 is neutral, and 8 to 10 is positive. So with that being said, The SPO numbers at the moment, we have about 250 stake pool operators attending fortnightly calls, and the net promoter score for them is 6.5. So that's a neutral. It's not. We want to improve that, and the way that we're going to improve that is look at the SPO delegation rounds. We're going to focus on sustainability and also allowing SPOs to nominate other SPOs, which means that everybody will have a chance to be heard in terms of which SPOs have made significant contributions and efforts in the pre-smart contract era. So we hope to see that net promoter score increase. For developers that are building on Cardano's ecosystem, we have about 400 attending weekly calls, and the net promoter score is 8.6, which is very, very high. So we're pleased with that. We also have the pioneers who are given a net promoter score of 8.9. That's from the second cohort, 1,700 of them. And we have about 434 developers and technical people onboarded into the Alonzo Purple testnet, and the net promoter score for is 8.2. So everybody seems very happy. SPOs need a little bit of love, and we're working on that. I'd also talk about the Cardano Stack Exchange. 94% of all questions asked are answered on Cardano Stack Exchange. So if you're a technical person, we really need more quality questions to come and answer them. You know, Lena, do you want to tell us a bit about what the Cardano Stack Exchange actually is?
Yeah, so it's basically a question and answer site for users and developers of the whole Cardano cryptocurrency ecosystem. And it takes like 60 seconds to sign up, and then as soon as you're signed up, you can ask a question. Anyone can ask a question, and anyone can leave an answer. So if you ask a really good question, then it gets bumped up, so you can kind of vote on it, and people can give more answers. And at the moment, as Ben said, we've got 94% of those questions being answered, but not enough questions are being asked. So I guess this is also a call out to you guys to come and ask your questions, basically.
So, Lena, there's lots of projects that are looking to get involved in Cardano, and we want to help those projects and the communities spot talent and find, we want to give them permission and purpose. So can you tell me about the creative community and where you're at with that?
Yeah, so in the last few weeks, we've launched our pilot creative community, which is completely new, and already we've scouted 20 of the best content creators in the community. And we're bringing them in to help us build this sort of from the ground up, so to flesh it out and become something that's going to benefit the whole ecosystem and community. And it's really quite a unique opportunity for these people to come together and bring something new, bounce ideas off each other, and work directly with us at IO, and also potentially be spotted and have that content highlighted for even more people to see, because they should be. So at the moment we have a few spaces left for anyone that's really, really keen and this sounds like something that they would want to be involved in. Then shoot me a DM and we can have a conversation.
So Lena, why would a creative want to get involved in this kind of a creative community so early on in the life cycle?
Well, exactly because of that, because it is so early on in the life cycle, and it's a really unique opportunity to be around other people that are in the same boat, so to speak, and it's an opportunity to also connect with other people that are looking for talent and looking for opportunity in the space.
When projects come in that are well funded, they've gone through Catalyst, and they're looking for talent, where do you think they're going to look, Lena?
Well, they're going to look in this creative community. This is going to be hopefully the place to look first, because we are going to be the best group of people that are bringing the best to the community. So
what are three simple things that the creative community might be doing in the first few months, Lena?
Well, one thing that we're going to be doing for sure is helping to build out Essential Cardano. And Essential Cardano is something that we would like to be a one-stop shop for anyone that has any questions or is looking for resources or just needs some help with when it comes to the Cardano ecosystem. And the people that are going to be best positioned to build that out and help us are the people that are in this creative community, because they're people that have already been contributing in the space and know the answers or have these bits of information that they can.
How active is the community been in Essential Cardano?
So at the moment, the community has been quite active. We've had 360 additions and 7 authors in the last month. Something that was quite interesting is that 120 of those updates last week were on NFTs and Catalyst in particular. So obviously these are kind of hot topics in the community. But we would really appreciate and would love for you to be more involved and help us to map out the ecosystem for everybody that's going to be joining us. I mean, there's going to be more and more people looking for these answers, and we can provide them in this one space with your contributions.
So, Lena, what's coming up next in terms of the creative community and what you're doing with it?
Next up is the Cardano Summit, which I'm sure everyone is extremely excited about. And it's a particularly unique opportunity as we are going to be opening up to ask if anybody has something that they would like to contribute to the summit. If you would maybe like to hold an event, maybe you would like to run a talk, maybe you would actually just like to come and act as a journalist and be a press pass member. If you would like to do this, then we'll be sending out a survey in the next couple of days. And in that survey, you will also be able to register your interest to join the creative community. As mentioned, there's only a few spaces left for that. But if you are interested, then just don't delay on getting that back to us, and we'll be in touch if necessary.
So, Matthew, you've been looking after the Discord and working with some of the interesting pioneers and the Alonzo testnet. Can you give us an update about the Educate piece?
Yeah, so just for general update on all of our cohorts and the Plutus Pioneers, the first cohort, we've had 400 plus people who have received the class photo as proof of participation in the course. Many others auditing the course as well. For the second cohort, we have 1,900 members currently active. By the time this airs, the second cohort will be finished. Lars has a full second iteration of the Plutus course material, which is open to everybody on the internet, so new and improved and up to date. And I think also in the second cohort, just from a sort of subjective level, more activity, more participation. You can tell that the documentation has been being built out. But this is another thing, is that just in the second iteration, we've had 40 plus people submit their own notes, their own tutorials, their own explainer videos to go along and supplement the material that we have in the Plutus Pioneers course. On top of that, we have 800 plus people signed up for the third cohort. This is prior to any announcement, simply from word of mouth and people searching for it. So we have a lot of demand going forward, and it's pretty exciting to see it progress.
And do you have any plans for any other kind of pioneer courses coming up, Matthew? Anything coming up, you think?
Yes. We have we can tease that we're going to be doing a Atala Prism Pioneer course. This is scheduled tentatively at the moment for Q4 of 2021. So we'll be releasing news about that very, very soon. So we're really excited about this.
Last final words, Matthew. What should people do if they remember nothing else? What should they remember from our update?
Okay, so we have a couple calls to action for you guys. There's specific ways that you can help us to help build the community. First, I'd say go to Cardano Stack Exchange. It's the perfect place to create a permanent knowledge bank for Cardano, just by asking and answering questions. Earn reputation there. Contribute to the community. If you're a creator, get connected with Lana on Essential Cardano. If you're building a dApp, we have a survey for you, which we're releasing in the Dev Digest email list. And this is essentially for us to help you guys make sure that you have what you need as you're building your dApp, that we have our teams connected to you and to your interests, to your needs, while you're in this process of launching onto mainnet.
In summary, what I'd ask anybody watching this to do, if they're creative, technical, intelligent, and want to get involved in a vibrant community such as Cardano, is to join our IOG Discord. If you're a developer, make sure you're part of the IOG Developer Announcements Telegram channel. If you're an SPO, make sure you're part of the SPO Telegram Announcements channel. We'd love to see you in the Essential Cardano contributing to helping people find their way around the ecosystem. And last, finally, most importantly, Cardano Stack Exchange. Help us get more questions on there, quality questions, quality answers. That's how you can help and get involved.
Quite a download there from Ben and his team, helping you, the community, build on Cardano, plus Plutus Pioneers, Essential Cardano, and the creative community. Plus, of course, Stack Exchange. Want to get involved with any of those projects? You'll find all the links below. As the Cardano developer ecosystem continues to expand, we need to see the systems, infrastructure, and processes to support that development. I caught up with the Cardano Foundation earlier to learn more about an important new strategic initiative being announced today. So joining me now is Jeremy from the Cardano Foundation and also Tor from HackerOne with news of a new bug bounty program being announced today. Gentlemen, thank you both very much for joining today. Now, Jeremy, to you first. What is a bug bounty program and why do we need one?
Thank you, Tim. So a bug bounty program, this is a public program where any code base can be tested for any performance bugs. And these bugs are properly documented so they can be replicated and then shared with a core development team so they can be fixed. Beyond having this process to replicate bugs, there is also an industry standard for risk scoring so that the highest rated bugs, they have the greatest risk if being left alone. So as we see continued growth in user activity within the Cardano ecosystem, and we're experiencing a large growth in market adoption, the Cardano Foundation, we're launching a bug bounty program to increase our public commitment that Cardano is a secure blockchain protocol.
So what exactly are the objectives of the program, Jeremy?
Good question. So the main two objectives is code transparency and also code reliability. So we want to really maintain the importance that we have on securing Cardano nodes and other key components, and also how we manage bugs that are found and do that in a public manner. Secondly is that with reliability, that if you are building a critical application on Cardano, you can be rest assured that the testing has gone through a very rigorous and open process.
Now, Tor, HackerOne will be a name that's known to a good few people in the development community. You've had a lot of experience running these sort of programs.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks very much, Tim. So HackerOne essentially is the world's largest, most trusted hacker-powered security platform. We have the largest community of hackers on the planet. That's why we're so well known in that kind of space. And we've got the largest database of vulnerability trends, industry benchmarks, and the hacker community can help mitigate cyber risk by doing the searching, finding, and reporting of any real-world security issues. So we've worked with some huge names. Think the US Department of Defense, Dropbox, General Motors, GitHub, Goldman Sachs, Google, just to name a few. And HackerOne was actually ranked 5th on the Fast Company World's Most Innovative Companies list for 2020. So we've got a huge community. We've got many programs that we've managed, and we've helped fix, I think, over 200,000 vulnerabilities to date.
So Cardano has obviously always prided itself on the quality of its code and has run independent code audits in the past. So why is this program necessary, Tor?
Yeah, good question. To be honest, no organization is ever immune to security vulnerabilities. You can do as much code work as you want, you can do as much resolutions as you want, but the only solution is to find and fix vulnerabilities before they're exploited by any cyber criminals, anyone who wants to hack for malicious intent. With a bug bounty program, ethical hackers are incentivized to find vulnerabilities and report them responsibly so that they can be fixed before any serious damage is done.
So maybe, Tor, just give us a bit more detail about how this program works.
Any hacker-powered security program, like a bug bounty, takes existing vulnerability management processes. So what will happen is a hacker can find vulnerabilities that an automated scanner might miss by thinking outside the box, by trying to think of what would someone who's trying to hack with malicious intent, what would they be trying to do? So a hacker can apply that thought process and use that to exploit. Now, this is something that a scanner would not be able to pick up.
So this is our first bug bounty program, and we are focusing for bugs which represent critical vulnerabilities and potential exploits for Cardano. So we're starting with the Cardano node and the Cardano wallet backend, as these are critical components of the protocol, and also that these have already gone through extensive testing and review by IOHK. There has been third-party security audits that's reviewed these components as well. And now we're at this level of maturity to where it makes sense for an additional layer of public scrutiny, such as the HackerOne bug bounty program. It's for anyone and everyone that wants to review the Cardano code base And what's really great that while we have a very active Cardano community who we fully welcome to participate, we through this program we're going to have other people who are not directly related to blockchain but are considered cybersecurity experts. They will be looking at this code and trying to find bugs that have gone unreported.
So if anyone watching this who does want to get involved, what do they need to do, Jeremy?
So we have a link down in the description below to the public page for HackerOne's bug bounty program, and you just simply create an account and follow the instructions that were provided there, and that will include the scope of what risk we're looking for, as well as how to make a report for a bug that you find.
And of course, people will be rewarded if they find bugs that are subsequently fixed. But how will that process work?
So this is a very good question, and we do want to make sure that when bugs are reported, that there's no major duplicates on the platform, and that's why we're working with HackerOne. So the general process is that it gets submitted to the HackerOne's team, and they will ensure that no one else has submitted that report. It goes through a process called triage, where they then try to replicate the bug found, and based off of its severity risk score, there is a reward schedule that determines how much you get rewarded for.
Yeah, just to add on to the end of Jeremy's point there, it's a really simple process. Once you sign on, you submit a vulnerability, and then we do the middle work to decide, what level of severity is this bug? Is it valid? And is it something that's actually a malicious threat? And then once that's determined, Cardano will already have stated how much they'd be willing to give in a bounty as a reward on the back of that. And all of those will be featured on their page in that link in the description. So you'll know all of that information before.
And Jeremy, I believe we're launching imminently.
That's right, Tim. We're launching today, actually. So at the time of this video's being premiered, people can already go to HackerOne's website and join the public bug bounty program.
That's great news. Jeremy from the Cardano Foundation, Tor from HackerOne, thank you both very much. Now let's talk about partnerships. Now we'll have a host of new partnerships to announce at the Cardano Summit in September. Meanwhile, we wanted to share some updates from a key strategic partner and a newer face in the ecosystem. Over now to Mackie and to Eric.
Today we're catching up on one of our projects that we have with SingularityNet, and for those who are new here, SingularityNet is creating an open, decentralized AI marketplace running on blockchain. And we've had their CEO and chief scientist Ben Gertz on the show before, so if you're interested in this topic, be sure to check it out because it's pretty interesting stuff. And they're actually also one of our strategic partners and a friend of Cardano, so much so that they've been collaborating closely with us on the ERC20 converter project. So here to give us an update on this project is Francisco Landino from RHK's commercial team. So Francisco, can you just first remind us what the ERC20 converter is and its purpose?
Of course, Maggie. The ERC20 converter is a bridge to connect Ethereum's blockchain to Cardano. So users will be able to migrate their tokens from Ethereum to Cardano. People will be able to move liquidity or to move their utility tokens to use the applications that are migrating from Ethereum to Cardano. These applications are mainly looking for a cheaper and faster blockchain with also a higher security on how the smart contracts are formally verified because of the improvement capacities of Cardano.
Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. And you actually joined 360 a few months ago and you were sort of announcing this, and it's taken a little longer than expected to get here. So maybe you can tell the community why that happened.
Yes, originally we planned to do 2 releases. This is a 2-way bridge, so users can migrate from Ethereum to Cardano and from Cardano to Ethereum. We planned to release first the Ethereum to Cardano migration process, but when we were finalizing the test, we saw that we could improve some things that we already had in the backlog for the Cardano to Ethereum process. So we decided to merge both releases and to release everything together than doing the 2 separate releases.
Okay, so more capability in this next release, which is the good thing. So when can the community expect to see all of this on testnet?
You will see everything next week on the testnet, and users will be able to test how they can migrate their AGIX tokens from Ethereum to Cardano and also going back from Cardano to Ethereum.
Exciting stuff. And to understand this tool a bit more, so is it for users or is it for token issuers?
It is for both. The end user is going to be the user of the dApps and also the people that want to use DeFi platforms or any other utility or marketplace decentralized application. So the users will have to move their tokens, and this is a self-service tool. People can access it and move their tokens freely. But also we have to talk with the issuers of the tokens, the companies that are working or the crypto projects, so we can also integrate the ERC20 converter and allow their users to migrate from one place to another one.
And in theory, can any ERC20 token be converted just like that?
Yes, any token can be converted. We just need to do the integration. We have to go through the process to mint the tokens, and you need to issue a native token on Cardano. That native token will be faster, will be cheaper, because they're already included in the ledger itself, so they're also more secure. After doing that integration and issuing the native token, any of your users will be able to move to Cardano.
And I hear you've prepared a short demo for us, so let's check that out now.
First of all, we have to connect our MetaMask wallet, and let's confirm the connection. After connecting the MetaMask wallet, we have to connect our Cardano wallets. Let's go to the testnet version of our Daedalus wallet, and let's copy one of the addresses. After copying the addresses and pasting here, we have to save it, and we have to store a signature of the addresses so we are sure that everything matches for security reasons. Now we can migrate our tokens. Let's put the amount of tokens we want to migrate. And now we have to confirm that the smart contract is going to receive our AGIX tokens. And after that, we will have to sign the transaction to effectively migrate the tokens. We confirm the transaction on MetaMask, and now we can go to a transaction history to see. Let's wait for a couple of minutes till both transactions are adopted by the blockchain. So after some minutes, we can see that the conversion was successfully done, and we can see the transaction hash on both blockchains. If we click on this transaction hash, we can see the transaction information in Etherscan, and if we click in the second link, we can see the transaction information in the Cardano Blockchain Explorer for the testnet. Now, let's do a conversion from Cardano to Ethereum. Let's go back to the dashboard, and let's click on Select.
Can't wait to do this.
If I click on the double arrow icon, I can change the direction of the conversion, and let's put that I want to migrate 100 tokens back to Ethereum. When I click in Convert, I can see this model that tells me that I have to execute a two-step process. The first step will be to deposit the tokens on a Cardano address. Those tokens will be burnt, and after the tokens are burnt, we can execute the smart contract to withdraw our tokens back on Ethereum. So let's copy the address, and let's go to Daedalus to do the transfer. And we paste the address, and we select the token that we want to migrate. In this case, we're going to select the token from SingularityNet, and we select that we want to migrate 100 tokens. Remember that in the token, first you will have to set up the amount of decimal places you want to use for that token. Going back to Daedalus, pasting the address, and selecting the token that we want to migrate. I put that I want to migrate 100 tokens, and I put the amount of ADA that I have to use to cover the transaction cost. After that, I click in Select, and I paste my spending password to approve the transaction. After that, we can go back to the ERC20 converter, and we can go to the transaction history to see that the deposit is pending and that we have to wait till the tokens are received and burned before continuing with executing the smart contract and withdrawing the tokens in Ethereum. So let's wait for a couple of minutes. Now I can see that the tokens were deposited and burned, and I can see the transaction on the Cardano Blockchain Explorer. To continue with the process and execute the step 2 and withdraw the tokens from the smart contract, I have to go back to the dashboard and continue with the process. After confirming the transaction In MetaMask, I can go back to a transaction section and wait for some more minutes till the smart contract is executed and the transaction is adopted by the blockchain. Let's wait for a couple of minutes more. Finally, I can see that the transaction was executed in Ethereum and that I have received my 100 tokens back in Ethereum. I can check the transaction in Etherscan and I can see that it was successfully done. Finally, if you're a company interested in migrating your dApp to Cardano, you can go to the Migrate Token section, put your personal information, the contract hash from your smart contract on Ethereum, and submit a request. If you're not on Ethereum or you want to contact us through another channel, you can send an email to dap.migration@ihk.io, dApp as in decentralized application with double P, and someone from our team will be in contact with you.
Thanks for that demo, Francisco. So to close things off, let's just cover off what's next for you and your team in terms of developing this project out further.
With the ERC20 converter in the testnet, we will be able to gather the feedback from the users, see how it behaves, and also we will have the time to finish some of the improvements we have in the backlog. So after some of the testing that we will do on the testnet and finishing some other tasks, which will increase the robustness of the tool, we will be releasing it to the mainnet.
Great. Thanks for that update, Francisco. I'm sure I can speak for the community when I say this is a well-anticipated project. And if you found this topic interesting, be sure to sign up to the Cardano Summit, as Francisco will be diving deeper into the converter, as well as the importance of creating bridges across the wider blockchain ecosystem. Thanks, Francisco.
Thank you, Maki.
And now we can head over to an additional update where I caught up with Marcello from Singularity DAO, which is a project started by SingularityNet that takes their work with AI and blockchain and actually uses it in another DeFi application. So let's go check that out. Hello, and here with me today is Marcello Marie, CEO of Singularity DAO. Welcome to Cardano 360, Marcello. Let's start by sharing a little bit about yourself and about Singularity DAO.
Hi, Maki. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be on the IOHK channel, and a pleasure to present Singularity DAO to the Cardano community. So Singularity DAO is the first project that actually spun out from SingularityNet Foundation, and our mission is to innovate the DeFi space by bringing sophisticated artificial intelligence. We're going to do so by providing ETF-style basket of tokens to our community and to anyone who wants to get exposure to the crypto economy, and the artificial intelligence will automatically rebalance this token.
So SingularityNet is the parent company to Singularity DAO, and we've had them on the show so people are sort of aware of them, and we've actually had a quick update from one of our collaborative projects just before this. But so to understand the relationship between the two, what your project does is actually taking the work and the technology of the AI and blockchain from SingularityNet and using that in the DeFi space. And I've heard things about Dynaset, so maybe you can explain a little bit more on how it actually does that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The relationship between SingularityNet and Singularity DAO is actually pretty clear. SingularityNet has been incubating Singularity DAO since the beginning, and Singularity DAO is the first project that spun off from the SingularityNet Foundation. And myself, I started my journey into crypto with SingularityNet in 2017 as a head of public relations, and I'm still the director of communication at SingularityNet. And back in 2017, most of my job was to make sure that everybody was talking about SingularityNet. And back then we had the robot Sophia, so I was literally bringing the robot Sophia around the world, including in the street of Moscow, for example. And it was quite fun to see us walking around with the humanoid robot, taking taxis and the metro, carrying Sophia around Moscow in the Red Square. And we have plenty of stories like this all over the world. So that was a fun time. And as a director of communication, I stayed for over 4 years, and then about a year ago, when decentralized finance was booming, it was clear that there was a lack of innovation in the space, and it was clear that SingularityNet was the perfect player in the market that could actually innovate the space, thanks to the expertise in artificial intelligence that we developed over the year, and especially in decentralized artificial intelligence. So I was talking to Ben about the boom of DeFi and the growing interest and the end of the crypto winter and what was happening in crypto, and Ben the day after delivered the Singularity DAO white paper, or the first draft of what the Singularity DAO white paper is right now. So we started to develop, and for Ben, it was clear that the mission of Singularity DAO should have been to bring massive liquidity to those projects that were sitting in page 2 or 3 of CoinMarketCap, so those projects that didn't get enough attention from the media or the community for any reason, good quality project that for some reason lack of liquidity. So artificial intelligence can help in that. So we created a system that looks very much like an AI-driven crypto hedge fund that have the mandate of bringing liquidity to crypto projects. So how do we do this? So we created an ETF style ecosystem. We create basket of tokens that we call Dynasets that contain underlying crypto coins, right? They can be of any source and any ecosystem, for example, right? So these Dynasets can be grouped in category, risk level. For example, we can have a metaverse Dynaset, right? And these coins inside the Dynasets are automatically rebalanced and reweighted by our artificial intelligence. Of course, at the beginning, we're not going to have artificial intelligence doing the whole thing automatically. We are currently training our AI, training our models, and researching on ways to do price prediction and sentiment analysis in crypto community, for example. But in the future, we're very confident we're going to be able to have a completely automatic and artificial intelligence managed Dynaset ecosystem. So yeah, this is what we are doing with Singularity DAO, and anybody would be able to use our platform and get exposure to the crypto economy by using artificial intelligence, by simply adding liquidity to our Dynasets, and there's nothing else they need to do, but there are also like many more opportunities to engage with our ecosystem.
Okay, and right now, what can Cardano community members do then with sort of engaging with your project?
Well, Cardano community members, they can, of course, participate in our ecosystem. We have just launched our MVP a couple of weeks ago, and our MVP allows anybody to add liquidity to our liquidity pools, for example, to stake the LDP token, to farm more SDAO token, and then to stake the SDAO token in order to get more rewards. We launched yesterday the bonded staking feature, that it was an amazing success, much bigger than we originally foresaw. And we welcome the Cardano community to participate in our ecosystem. I also wanted to add that right now we are going to be launching the first iteration of Dynasets is going to be Ethereum based, but the second iteration will be ecosystem specific. So of course we will be among the first one to build Dynasets on Cardano. So we're very much looking forward for Cardano to be mature and for Singularity DAO to be able to participate to the Cardano ecosystem as well.
That's exciting to hear. We'll definitely keep an eye out on that. And just to switch a little bit, so Singularity DAO, so as its name has, in fact, is a DAO, right? So it's a decentralized autonomous organization. And so what does this actually mean for the SDAO token holders? What kind of power do they have?
Yeah, that means that in a few years I'm not going to have a job as a CEO, that the DAO will be able to self-regulate itself, just like any other entity in nature that doesn't need a centralized authority to be managed. So we launched not long ago, right? So we distributed our token in May to a governance generation event. We spread our token to thousands of token holders, currently about 8,000 token holders, to achieve true decentralization. We are going to put in place a number of votes for the community to decide how to steer the project. Of course, our full decentralization process goes step by step, and it's very detailed in our governance white paper, and it will take years, and the DAO will need to be mature enough in order to make independent decisions, but we're planning to involve our community in governance votes starting this year. So in the next couple of months, I'm expecting the DAO to start making the first decisions, and towards the beginning of next year, we're gonna be able to get the DAO and our token holders to vote on more sensible questions. For example, which ecosystem we should be launching our first ecosystem specific dynasets, right? So there's of course few that are competing, and Cardano will definitely be at the center of our priorities, and we really hope that our community would vote for Cardano, and that your community will participate in that vote as well.
Yeah, and I think we'll definitely have Cardano community members sort of participating in the votes in the future, because I do know that we have people following both the Singularity Net and Singularity DAO project, so that's good to hear. But yeah, is there anything else you want to sort of add about the community?
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of your community members participating to Singularity DAO community, and that is extremely exciting. They're very supportive to Singularity DAO, and I can tell that there is a lot of excitement, which is why we're also so excited about the opportunity of working together with Cardano in the future. And we can't wait, I mean, with all our efforts right now are focused on rolling out the first dynasets, which we envision coming around the end of this year, quite optimistically. But as I said, as soon as the first dynasets are out of the door, then we can launch ecosystem-specific dynasets, and hopefully Cardano will be one of the first ones that we launch. So we're really looking forward to more Cardano community members to participate to our community, and yeah, I'm really looking forward for future collaboration with Cardano.
So that was a really great chat. It was great having you join us today, Marcello. I look forward to us working together over 2021, but let's now head back into the rest of the show.
Thank you so much, Mikey. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for having me.
Today I'm joined by Elliot Hill, the head of communications for Occam, the DeFi launchpad built on Cardano. They are one of the first projects that was funded by the C Fund. Welcome to 360, Elliot.
Hey, Eric. It's really great to be here. I've been waiting to be on Cardano 360 for a while. It's also always an awesome show, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we're glad to have you. So to start out with, what is Occam?
Sure, yeah, it's a really good question. So Occam is a suite of DeFi solutions tailor-made for Cardano. We have three facets. So we have our launchpad, which is called Occam Razor. We have the OCC token, which is an ecosystem token that draws it all together. We also have the OccamX decentralized exchange. So that's a DEX that basically is going to be a one-stop shop for liquidity of the Cardano native tokens that come through the Occam Razor platform.
So why is DeFi on Cardano different?
So I think DeFi on Cardano is actually going to be very much the same as Ethereum. We're going to see similar products with similar use cases, but I think, as we all know, or as many of us will know watching this, on Cardano, it's going to be faster and it's going to be cheaper. So one of the main attractions for us as a project building on Cardano is probably Cardano native tokens. So, everyone's anticipating the launch of smart contracts, but since the Mary hard fork and Cardano native tokens came on board, we've had these tokens that can be transferred without the use of smart contracts, which really brings down the fees associated with transactions on Cardano. Obviously, you don't have to interface with a smart contract to send tokens. So that's really, really promising as a DeFi ecosystem, because it can really bring the costs involved down. And seen as decentralized finance is there to democratize access to finance on chain for everybody. We think the cost is one of the biggest stumbling blocks. And we're really going to see, we think that we're really going to see like a litany of new users come into the Cardano ecosystem because it'll be so much cheaper to use. Obviously, we do need to wait for smart contracts for some of our our core functionalities. But obviously they're just around the corner, so it's a super exciting time for us at Occam.
Yeah, it seems like one of the biggest stumbling blocks for DeFi on Ethereum has been gas fees and transaction times. So it looks like you guys are looking to solve that.
Yeah, so well, I guess it's not so much that we're looking to solve it, but we can definitely see that Cardano will solve it, and potentially already has solved it. So with the launch of Alonzo Purple, the rollout of Alonzo Purple, these smart contracts are already being built. We've got developers in the Plutus Pioneer program, and you can already see that what you can build and implement on Cardano, it solves a lot of the pain points that people have been complaining about on Ethereum for a couple of years now, really. And obviously there are plans in the pipeline. Ethereum, they've got optimistic rollups and some other solutions that are aimed at addressing the gas problem and the transaction speed problem. But why wait for that when Cardano's here now? Charles announced that smart contracts would be here on the 12th of September. So, we really are just round the corner of an explosion of DeFi on Cardano, and I think it's long overdue.
So we are, less than a month away from smart contracts on Cardano. So obviously native tokens are important to Occam, but what will smart contracts do for you?
So smart contracts will not only enable all the companies that are and projects that are building and launching through Occam Razor to finally bring their core components to the Cardano blockchain, but they'll also allow us to implement all of the DeFi features that we have at the moment natively on Cardano. So we've already rolled out our Cardano native token. We have the counterpart amount of OCC issued as a Cardano native token, as we do as an ERC20 token. And unfortunately, at the moment, because smart contracts aren't quite ready, we can't offer staking and we can't offer yield farming functionality to our users on the Cardano blockchain. But with the arrival of smart contracts, we can offer all of our users, the opportunity to say, I don't know, maybe keep the OCC Cardano native token in the Daedalus wallet, for instance, while also taking part in staking. So there's going to be a lot more functionality for our users with the launch of smart contracts on Cardano.
So you're talking about democratizing access to finance, a pretty big goal, especially with a global blockchain like Cardano. So give me a timeline. What does it look like in, let's say, 1 year and then 5 years down the line?
So for us, 1 year, we expect that we'll have launched a lot of new projects through Occam Razor. So we've already got a pipeline of projects which are really, really, innovative. And we think we've just got some great talent come through to launch projects for Cardano. So we recently had Card Wallet that was launched by some ex-CF and ex-Emergo members as advisors. And we've got Theos as well. They're going to be like an NFT minting platform for Cardano. So we're already seeing a lot of these really innovative projects coming through. We think we'll have a lot more of that, especially when smart contracts become available and more teams maybe that haven't considered Cardano yet come into the ecosystem and look for ways to build. The other thing that we're quite keen to build out is our accelerator program. So the accelerator program is a incubator that's ran by the Occam Association. And obviously with our links now with the C Fund and Emergo, we really want to take projects that have found what I would say validation through the Catalyst program. And they've received a little bit of funding, but they need that extra step to launch and be took through to a token sale. So that's where the accelerator comes in. And we can really help projects, find their identity as a project on Cardano and then come all the way through to launch. So that's something that we're building out in the next year, I would say. We're looking at some partners who we can work with to really give projects on Cardano the best chance at, I would say the start of their life. And then the other milestone for us will obviously be the Occam DEX, as we spoke about a little bit. And that's going to be, not just the DEX, but it's going to be a whole flourishing ecosystem, a bit like Uniswap would be on Ethereum, but built for Cardano. So yeah, there's quite a lot going on in parallel.
Amazing. So you are one of the first funded projects by the C Fund, and it looks like you're also interacting with the Project Catalyst ecosystem. What has your experience been working with the C Fund?
Yeah, so the C Fund, obviously, they're officially aligned with IOG, and they're also a VC that invests in early stage startups. It's been a really great experience so far. We applied to the C Fund just by contacting them and giving them a rundown of what we do at Ockham, what our vision is for the ecosystem. But the advice and the insights that they've given us into the Cardano ecosystem have really been invaluable. Not only with their development guidance, so the components that we're building now, especially on the OccamX DEX, and the new components that we're going to be releasing on Cardano for Occam Razor, we can pass those through C Fund, and then by extension, we can get subject matter experts from the official Cardano entities to look at our components and tell us that we're building correctly, and also ensure there's a level of accountability there. So the C Fund keeps us accountable that we are building for Cardano. Obviously, they're an investor in us, so I would probably like to stress that, to our community, that we now have this responsibility through the C Fund to build sustainably and with the long-term vision for Cardano ecosystem in mind. So that's probably the most important bit. They've got Cardano's best interests at heart, and therefore, by extension, so have we, and we get all of the advice from them on how best to build for the Cardano ecosystem. So it's a really good working relationship, and it's been great journeys.
So how do people become involved with Occam?
It depends what kind of user you are. So we've obviously got token holders. Token holders can stake OCC tokens, which gives them access to new IDOs coming through the Occam Razor Launchpad. It also gives them access to staking rewards, and we're looking to increase functionality for OCC. Obviously, they can become users of the OccamX DEX when that's available. The OccamX DEX will have an associated token called the OCX. This isn't available to new investors. It's only distributed to current holders of OCC. So we want to reward our original core community. And then we also have, obviously, Occam Razor IDOs. So in order to participate in the IDOs, you have to, hold the OCC token. Other community initiatives that we've been involved in recently is the ADA Makerspace Hackathon. So that's by Boone Bergsma. Give him a shout out. I don't know if anyone in the community knows him, but ADA Makerspace makes some really, really good Cardano educational content, particularly around Marlowe smart contracts. And we've been involved in their experiential hackathon. So we want to make funds available for people building solutions on Cardano. And then that again feeds into the accelerator. So we really have something for, the average, I would say, retail token holder. And then we have paths into OccamFi available for developers as well. So I'd say, just head over to occam.fi, and we've got all of our information on there on how you can get involved.
Elliot, thank you so much for joining us on 360.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks for having us. See ya.
So thank you, Eric, and thank you, Elliot. Now check out the links in the show notes below to find out more about Occam and about the C Fund. So we've published a few posts on the blog this month that you might want to check out. If you've missed them, head on over there now. We heard earlier about Stack Exchange from Ben and team, so head to the blog and hear more about how you can get involved and help build this up as a brilliant resource for developers building on Cardano. And talking of that, last week we also released our paper on JED, a new algorithmic stablecoin. There'll be more on that at the summit, but meanwhile, check out the blog and the paper in our library.
So regular viewers of the show will have seen our friends at Wolfram's incredible NFT creations and followed their innovative live minting model. Today, some of those cellular automata, minted by Stephen Wolfram himself, will go up for auction. Only 200 in total were minted, 20 of each design, and the first 10 are up for auction starting later today. So make sure you visit the link below to find out more.
This week, we also formally announced a partnership with the Business University of Luxembourg, bringing new opportunities for developers across Africa. Now, last but not least, let's finish with the Cardano Summit, taking place on the 25th and the 26th of September. One virtual world across 2 days with supporting local community events, bringing the world together around Cardano. This is about celebrating our communities in as many places as they are in the world, and we've got a lot to celebrate. At the summit, we'll talk about utility. What can you do on Cardano today, and what will you be able to do on Cardano tomorrow? We'll cover core platform capability, charting how the ecosystem will evolve from the hard fork onwards. Alonzo's the end of one journey, but very much the beginning of another, and a very exciting new era. From network and code optimizations to new developer tools, certification to costs, we'll talk about the evolution of Ouroboros, and we'll dive deep into Hydra that will deliver unrivaled scalability. Plutus, Tala, sidechains, stable coins. We'll look at how Cardano is building an entirely new and unique infrastructure for a new era of decentralized finance. And we'll talk about governance with keynotes from leaders both within and from beyond the community, looking not just at what the future of blockchain looks like, but the future of government itself. And we'll talk about impact, how Cardano intends to make its mark and drive a more sustainable world while improving its systems for everyone, everywhere. And of course, adoption. We'll look at how we're driving interoperability and new standards across the industry. We'll meet some of the hundreds of ecosystem partners, and yes, there are hundreds, powering the platform's evolution, building on Cardano, preparing to go to market. So, exciting times ahead, from new announcements to some more familiar faces, and a host of projects across NFTs, DEXs, APIs, liquidity, and more. And of course, we'll provide a platform for you, the community, to show us what you're working on and where you're going to help take Cardano.
2 days, a virtual world, and an incredible global community.
That's how the world comes together on Cardano. See you at the summit.
I think that's the end of the show, my friends. Yes, it is. That is the end of the show, my friends. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was a bit of a watch party, and yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, a lot of it was a lot to take in. The Singularity Net outline and the Occam was a bit, to me, I'm still a bit confused. I'm not gonna lie with you guys, but really excited, and I was really cool to see that they had the ERC20 token converter set up, and they did it on the testnet, and it looked very easy to use. It looked so simple that I'm pretty sure no one's gonna have any problems trading their AGIX over to Cardano from Ethereum, and I'm really excited to be doing that. What you're working on, when he said at the end, yeah, he was definitely talking about Cardano Friends, or maybe Stickfrix, my NFT projects. Maybe that's what Tim was talking about. But yeah, what do you guys think? You guys enjoy it? Started sticking the other day with you, Jack. Thank you, my friend Kavan. Kavan or Kavan? Kavan? Thank you so much, my friend. Means a lot. Right now we're sitting at 1.7 million, thanks to you and the 176 delegators. Not alligators, delegators. I guess it's delegates, but delegators rhymes with alligators, so we're gonna go with that. And yeah, it's been pretty awesome, guys. It's been pretty awesome. That was a good stream. I'm gonna go for a few more minutes. If you guys have any questions, or you want to we're just gonna talk about what happened, see what's up in Cardano land for a few more minutes before I end the stream. And can you stake to my stake pool using Nami Wallet? You can, in a way. I believe you can use their Discord integration to change stake pools, but on their wallet specifically, I'm not 100% sure how to change stake pools. I don't believe there's a way yet. I believe there's going to be a way in the future, especially after they add things like hard wallet support, and a lot of people will be primarily using Nami. Good show. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Brody, for coming along. Thank you, everyone, for coming along. How's Newton, Jack? Newton is a Canadian exchange, and it is by far my favorite, the one that I've used here in Canada. Very simple, very easy. I love it. There's a link down in the description if you want to get $25 free when you trade $100 or more with Newton. But yeah, Newton is the one that I use for Canadian exchange-wise. ETH/Cardano connection is so... Fire emoji, rocket emoji, oh my god emoji. It is. I'm so excited to see that come into the main network and for us to be able to actually interact with it. And hopefully at some point we'll be able to burn NFTs on Ethereum and convert them over to Cardano. I think that's going to be a huge thing. And the more the Cardano NFT community grows, I think the more we're going to see that be a thing. And it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild. It's going to be freaking awesome. Yeah, that was a great episode. It was a shorter one. A little bit confused on some parts of the OCamFi connection, but overall, I'm just glad that like they do this every month. It's pretty awesome that they do a recap like that. Like, go to Ethereum, go to any other cryptocurrency, and you just won't get that. You really just won't. Amy, hey friends. Hello, Amy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Musty LA, dabbing emoji guy. I like it. You can say it Kevin, but Kevin. Alright guys, I think we're end here in like 5 minutes, so leave any questions you guys have in the comments right now. Hope you enjoyed the watch party. Obviously, most people don't expect you to stick around for too much longer, as my face is not as nice as Tim's face of, you know, the guy who hosts the Cardano 360, which is to be expected. But real quick, let's go look at the price. And before we end the stream, I want to talk about what I think is going to happen here in the crypto markets. As much as Cardano 360 is not related to price, I know a lot of people do look at the price. So what I think is happening right now, and I mentioned this in my other video a few days back, is I think we're seeing a major crash here. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think Bitcoin is going to dip below 40K. But hear me out here. I think macro trend wise, we are going up and we're going to dip below 40K. A lot of people are going to sell out. They're going to be shooken out, especially people not watching videos like mine. And then we're going to go back up dramatically, very dramatically. That's when we can go to 100K or more this cycle. And I just want to put that out there. We might go to $1.80 Cardano coming up here if we see below 30K Bitcoin. And I wanted to just show you guys that, tell you guys that. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I think might happen. Obviously, I don't have a magic ball and I have no idea if this is true. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm playing. And on my watch list, Ergo, one of the coins on my watch list, is it is really high right now, and I'm waiting for Ergo to come down to around $9.69. I'm going to pick up a lot of Ergo, and also going to be picking up probably some more AGIX, and then possibly more Cardano as well. So I'm hoping for a crash. I do think a crash will happen, and I wanted to let you guys know that I thought that. And this is also, if we do see a crash, there's a good chance it launches us up to crazy all-time highs. So we've been hitting all-time highs, but I think even crazier all-time highs. And that's when I'm going to leave the stream off here. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you don't agree, that's fine. There's definitely so much things that could happen. That's just the way I think it's going to go. Obviously, though, I'm not a professional analyst, and I don't know for sure. It's just my hypothesis. Hope you guys have a great day, though. And we're going to end the stream here. Make sure you guys smash the like button on your way out so people can see this video and watch the Cardano 360 event for themselves with my face on the side of the screen. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video.